Could you turn me up in the headphones a little bit? Bow, boy, where you been? It's TeeJay, the artist. You rock with me, you are the smartest, and we back with another video, man. We got one kid genius versus 10 die-hard NBA fans. I already know how this is gonna go. These guys gonna come over here and sit in this chair, and they not gonna stay on topic. Listen, all of them always happen like this. Whoever the one fan is, he always win, because the people that come and sit on the side of the table, they come in talking utter nonsense. They act like they don't know nothing. So we're gonna see what happens in this video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get straight into it. Let's do it.
Most pundits are saying the Raiders should have considered trading down and not taking Mendoza.
Why are you going back to NFL? Focus on the NBA. Talk about LeBron and Jordan.
John Stockton is much better all time than Damian Lillard.
Whoa. John Stockton is better than Dame.
I don't want to feel this way.
James Worthy 100% was better than Kareem during those years.
The reason why the Ravens were down because Lamar Jackson had a terrible first half that game.
In those 8 years, he has run a ton.
You blame the roster, but you never blame Lamar Jackson.
I thought it was a basketball video. Okay. What is going on?
Tell me why I'm wrong. Don't tell me my age, okay?
Hold on, I'm not
Tell me why I'm wrong.
I understand.
Tell me why I'm wrong. Today,
He said, tell me why I'm wrong. Don't talk about my age. Okay, let's get it.
I'm here as a 15-year-old analyst, and I'm up against 10 die-hard NBA and NFL fans.
Oh, and NFL. Okay.
I have 5 takes for you, and each one is hotter than the last.
All right.
My first claim is Jordan, LeBron, Magic, Bird, and Shaq are the 5 greatest players in NBA history.
Okay, Jordan, Braun, Magic, Bird, and Shaq. It's a good list, but no Kobe. But if I put Kobe in, I got to move somebody out. That's why Magic and Bird should not be separate. They got to be together because y'all marketed them together. It's the first time I've actually heard somebody put Shaq in here on a top 5 in a while. Some people put Tim Duncan in over him. Some people say Kareem is in over him as well, over Shaq. So it's a solid list, but you know, let's see what they got to say.
It's not about naming one guy you're missing. It's about naming all of the guys that you're overlooking in that argument. We're talking about Bill Russell. We're talking about Kobe
I completely forgot about Bill
Bryant. We're talking about Dwayne Wade. We're talking about...
Get him out the chair. This man said Dwayne Wade top 5 all time. Get him out. Get him out the chair.
Julius Erving. We're talking
Dr. J. See what I'm talking
about all of these guys.
You just said Dr. J and Dwayne. Boy, this is going to be a long video.
Former champions, former MVPs, Kevin Durant's of the like, that you are
Nobody's
ignoring by naming those 5 guys.
Let's start.
First of all, you didn't argue anything. He named his top 5, and you came in and said, well, you're saying that, but you're ignoring these people. Tell me your top 5 list.
Some of the guys you mentioned, Dwayne Wade, Julius Erving, Kevin Durant, they're not even top 10 all time.
That's a fact.
Let alone top 5. They're not even a part of this discussion. You mentioned someone like Bill Russell. I can understand maybe from a championships perspective, but I think if you look at the overall dominance and body of work on both ends of the floor, Bill Russell also played with, I think, the most Hall of Famers of all time. So if you look at the full body of work, I think we can agree Jordan and LeBron are there. That's for a separate time of who's number 1. We have to agree Magic and Bird are going to be there, correct?
We have to? Do we have to agree that Magic and Bird are
the
there?
guys who saved the NBA, each won 3 MVPs, were each the 2 greatest winning percentage among players with 500 or more games played. Like, yes, I want to put the 2 greatest winners of all time in
I know
there,
you want to put them in there, but saving the NBA isn't exactly a trackable statistic in regard to comparative to the other players, right? If we want to talk about championships, we can talk about Magic. You could talk about Bird too, but we have to talk about Kobe Bryant. 5 rings. The one MVP that we all know should have been maybe 2 or 3.
Agree.
You want to talk about championships, you got to talk about Dwayne Wade. You want to talk about championships,
Dwayne Wade not top 5. Stop saying his name is hurting your argument.
you want to talk about Tim Duncan. There are so
There you go.
many guys that if you're talking about saving the NBA as a trackable statistic and comparative to other guys, it doesn't really feel like something that's top 5 worthy, especially if we're considering, position by position. Magic Johnson is arguably a top 5 point guard. Arguably a top 2 point guard between him and Stephen Curry.
So you're saying you want Steph over Magic for that spot?
I'm not saying I need Steph over Magic, but again,
bruh, name your top 5.
it's not about picking one player. It's your definitive 5 versus the entire field of the NBA.
All right, well, first of all, I'm going to need guys you're going to put over them because all I'm hearing is that Kobe this, Dwayne Wade that, Tim Duncan that. I'd actually like to hear your 5 or the guys you put above. I will answer your point. Yes, saving the NBA and making an impact, that has to do with greatness. Impact 100% has to do with being one of the greatest players of all time. That's number 1. And number 2, if you want to talk about true dominance, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Magic did play with Kareem. I'd say he was probably the best player on those Lakers teams for 3 of those titles. Bird was the best on his teams for 3 of those titles. Kobe Bryant, he was the second best player on 3 of his title teams. I love Kobe. I'm a diehard Kobe fan. I have a picture of Kobe in my room, like diehard Kobe fan. He was the second best player on his team.
Okay.
For 3 of his championships. Another reason why I have Shaquille O'Neal on there, the most dominant force in the history of the game. Tim Duncan, I could get you. I just don't know from an explosive and dominant standpoint if he ever reached the Larry Bird echelon of 3 straight MVPs, the Shaquille O'Neal echelon of just being a brutal force down low. I never saw that from him. He would probably be my 6th or 7th guy, maybe just outside the top 5. But personally, it's Jordan, LeBron, Magic, Bird, and Shaq. And you want to say the field, who in that field would you put over those guys? Dwayne Wade only won 1 championship as the best player, and he wasn't even higher on All-NBA than Shaq in that season. So I need to hear
He eating you up. Let's see who your top 5 is.
your guys.
I love the idea of you being a diehard Kobe fan.
Name your top 5.
And when you only saw his post-Achilles tear career, I'm not going to be the first person that...
Tell me why I'm wrong. Don't tell me my age, okay?
Hold on, I'm not
Tell
going to
me
be...
why I'm wrong.
I understand.
Tell
I'm
me why I'm wrong.
not going to be the first person that makes an allusion
So everybody's just gonna say you're too young.
to your age, but I do hope I'm the last. Here's the thing. Let's talk about Kobe Bryant
So you're not gonna answer the question.
over Larry Bird. Let's talk about Kobe Bryant or over Magic Johnson.
Okay.
Right? I'm not going to argue with LeBron and Michael. That's an easy argument that between the 2 of them and everybody else. Kobe Bryant, with 5 titles, in my opinion, was the best player in that 3rd of the three-peat with Shaq. That puts him at 3 titles as the best player on his team, which is the argument you've said for Magic and Larry. Okay? You want to talk about body of work. We're talking about 20 years in the NBA for Kobe Bryant, almost all of which averaging over 20 points a game, despite multiple career-ending injuries that ended other guys' careers early, guys like Dominique, and being able to overcome that, still be competitive in year 20, putting 60 down in his last game. And I understand that's just an isolated incident, but that speaks to the greatness of one Kobe Bean Bryant.
Look, I am not going to debate the Mamba mentality and his resiliency and his heart and his passion for the game, because again, that's what draws you into being a Kobe Bryant fan. I would disagree with you on the one point of I do think Shaquille O'Neal was the best player on that team for 3 of those title teams, higher in All-NBA in all of them, higher in MVP finishes for all of them, and I really do believe that offense was centered around Shaquille O'Neal. Not to say that Kobe Bryant wasn't a contributing factor, but to put him above guys like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, who Kobe was great, but he also came into the NBA and it took him a little while to really get things going. Magic and Bird right away, All-NBA first team guys. Magic had, I think, an 11-year stretch where he made 10 All-NBA first teams. That's unprecedented. And so I believe that type of dominance from the get-go and then being able to be a little bit more consistent, where Kobe's era was almost split into 2, a little stretch in between where it was dominant statistics but a lack of playoff success to show for it. Again, love Kobe, but when you're comparing him to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, who are consistently dominant and consistently productive in another very, very tough era and did so from the get-go, I'm going to have to put those guys over a guy like Kobe.
I think you're...
All right, Mr. New York Nick. Name your top 5.
criteria is different than everyone else, and that's why I believe that your list might be different than other people.
Everybody's top 5 list gonna be different.
One thing that unfortunately no one else has said is,
I mean, no one else has said because only one person been in the chair, unless y'all edited that part out.
I'd put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Here we go. Okay.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, clearly you've prepared for this. Kareem instead of Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, so Kareem versus Shaq. All right.
My criteria: dominance, firepower as a number 1. What you were able.
It's gonna be hard to defend this one. I see. I mean, Kareem should be better than Shaq. I'm just saying. Kareem got 6. I think he got 6 championships. And he was the number one scorer before LeBron took it over. I'm just saying.
To achieve as a number one and impact. And personally, I don't believe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar checks those boxes over a guy like Shaquille O'Neal. I think we all like to pencil in Kareem as the number 3 greatest player of all time, because then we usually start the debate from 4 and on. It's just because we look, oh yeah, 6 championships, 6 MVPs, we have to put him in. We don't really look deep into those accolades. As we were just mentioning with the Moses Malone debate, the NBA was
so somebody went up here and argued for Moses Malone. Okay. Something's going on.
split into the
Stop editing out.
NBA and the ABA in the 70s. And so when Kareem was winning all of those MVPs, he was doing it in probably the weakest era of basketball, not only for who was in the field for basketball, but again, who were specifically in the NBA. If he was against Julius Erving and Moses Malone in their prime, he's not going to go and win all of those MVPs. So he only wins 1 championship in the playoffs. He gets outplayed in the paint by Nate Thurmond, by Willis Reed. He got outplayed by multiple different guys down low inside the paint. That's not exactly your 3rd greatest player of all time, or at least top 5 to me.
You clearly don't value longevity, and that's my biggest thing. When you play, 20 years in the NBA, wins a championship, as you said, in 1970, 71, he has the most MVPs ever, and I think we need to have a discussion about a guy that played until 1989 and finished his career as the top scorer in NBA history. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and discredit your argument by saying that, your criteria is wrong, because that's why we're going to have this fundamental disagreement. But when we're talking about our criteria, for me, I value longevity. You've got 2 guys in there that did not play more than 15 years, and for 2 different reasons. Listen, Larry Bird, back, Magic, whatever happened there. But you've got 2 guys in there that were not playing a very long period of time. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Chase, he had 6 MVPs, and I understand, yes, the NBA and the ABA merged in 1977. We understand that, but we're not going to sit here and say, like, listen, we're not talking about baseball, but we're not going to talk about the players when the Negro League and the MLB merged. Like, are we gonna like have that conversation? I understand, like, we're not talking about baseball here, but.
Where are you going? What in the world? How we get to the Negro Leagues? What are you trying to say? My other thing is this too. When it comes to top 5 lists, all top 5 lists, even when Bleacher Report do it, even when ESPN do it, even when the NBA do it, everybody's list is opinion. Everybody's list is opinion. It's opinion based and what I feel. So we can't discredit anyone's list. I don't care if your top 5 is freaking Charles Barkley, Kawhi Leonard, Muggsy Bogues, Vince Carter, and Tracy McGrady. If that's your top 5, that's your top 5, bro. That's your top 5, bro. Like, you can't really like dispute anybody's top 5.
People who played before that. Babe Ruth is still considered one of the greatest.
Why are you talking about baseball? Get out this chair.
Players of all time. Lou Gehrig is considered one of the best players of all time. Are we going to sit here and discredit their greatness because, half of the league or more of that wasn't in the league? That's the thing.
Well, the reason why we're not is because they probably anchored the greatest dynasty in the history of sports, you could argue, with what the New York Yankees did during the time that Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig were really thriving, except the only difference is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you're right, he played in that broken league of basketball where half the talent was in the ABA and half the talent was in the NBA, and he won 1 championship. If he was there and he was dominating come postseason time, I'd be okay. But there are seasons like, I think it was 1973 or 74, he was averaging 33 a game in the regular season. It dropped to 21 in the postseason. And so I do think that has to be taken into account.
One year.
But this is consistent,
and that's why.
But this is consistent. I can't read off the stats for each of them.
In 1973,
there are more seasons. Well, yes,
1974.
That's in the middle of his prime.
That's the reason why he's not there.
Yes, when you were, and I don't have the exact individual statistics to go and prove each year. That is just an example where, again, consistently he was dominated inside the paint against those guys. And I guess my point is, you win 1 championship as a number 1. You go to LA, you go to a bigger.
You don't think he was better in 79, 80? I know Magic played in Game 6.
Probably.
I understand that when Kareem couldn't travel to Philadelphia. I get that. I understand that. But he was the best player in the 5 games. Right?
I guess you could. Magic Johnson played his position better than him in the middle of his prime in a Game 6 where he's a point guard.
42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. I understand.
Yes,
I understand. So we're not gonna.
Also, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's final 3 finals appearances with the Los Angeles Lakers and those final 2 championships. it was ceremonial all-star appearances. He was averaging 14 a game. Like, this is not, when you talk about the longevity, 2 of the 6 championships that you're bringing up, he was the 3rd best player on his team. That's not 3rd greatest player ever.
You're putting James Worthy.
James Worthy 100% was better than Kareem during those years.
I wouldn't say 100%. I don't think you could say that when it comes to a player that had one of the most unstoppable moves and shots in NBA history.
All right, Chase. So my big thing is there's different
Another New York fan.
kinds of dominance. When you talk about your criteria of dominance,
By the way, the dude argued for Kareem to be in over Shaq. Cool. Let's see what he got to say.
I would argue Steph Curry is just as, if not more dominant than Shaquille O'Neal. I understand the brute
Steph Curry is not top 5 all time.
force and the big body and the dunking.
But like I said, it's opinion based.
People fear Steph
Are you doing Steph Curry versus Shaq right now?
Curry. As soon as he crosses half court, they are scared. He is going to let that thing fly and destroy teams. Mike Breen even said it on that 3 against the Thunder. Double bang. That is what Steph Curry, he strikes that fear. That dominance speaks for itself.
Again, this could be a different conversation for a different day. What awards did you deserve? What didn't you? Do you think that Steph Curry was the best player on those 17 and 18 Warriors
And
teams?
I knew we were going to bring this up. Yeah, I do believe that during the regular season, we can talk about playoffs as a different story. I think that overall, those seasons, Steph Curry was the overall better player on those teams. I think there's a reason that Kevin Durant had to go to those teams to be able to win, because he had to play in a system that was fostered and created by Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. And we've seen what Kevin Durant's done
not
since.
not just Steph
Excuse me,
Curry, right?
excuse me.
Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. There are other guys who are involved in creating that
Who's the best
system.
player in that
That's
system?
correct.
It was
Of
Stephen
course,
Curry.
Steph.
But Kevin Durant, we've seen since leaving Golden State, he hasn't won a playoff series.
I will say this. So, number one, Kevin Durant has won a playoff series, but I do agree with you. The point does stand that...
I was a little wrong on that,
right,
Maya.
but the point does stand that you're right, Durant is not doing well. I'm not arguing Kevin Durant is a better player than Steph Curry. I agree. He had to go to that system to win and hasn't done much since. I am a Steph
Didn't
over...
do much before.
I'm a
Choked to Steph Curry.
I'm a Steph over KD guy, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not going to debate that with you. However, I do think Steph Curry 100% kind of coined and created this three-point style that we know of today. I don't think it was only him, though, that caused the shift that we do see today in the NBA. I think there were teams, for example, not saying they ended up getting it done, but teams started to go small ball and think about all shooting lineups once Daryl Morey and the Houston Rockets did it. From an impact standpoint, 70s, the ratings were awful. The NBA was possibly going to be terrible. Yep. They made the ratings go up. You could say they saved the NBA, and then Michael Jordan had the peak and the pinnacle of the ratings and the dominance in terms of the NBA over other leagues.
The NBA drug era,
Right.
and Magic and Bird brought it back.
Exactly.
100%.
And then Michael Jordan even took it to the next level.
Yes, globalized it.
So
everything.
since Michael Jordan left, though, this new era of basketball, the ratings are actually down. So in terms of an impact standpoint, you could say that now kids on the elementary school courts are going and shooting more three-pointers, but what the stats are telling us is that this new era of NBA is not actually
the stats
as
of the
appealing.
ratings. The stats of the okay, but I'm not basing it.
Yeah, I you can talk to a lot of people around the 25 plus era, 25 plus age range, and they'll say like, bro, I don't really watch basketball no more because all they do is shoot threes. All they do is shoot threes. That's all. So like a lot of people, they kind of stopped watching basketball. I kind of found myself doing that as well, not really watching the regular season as much because we all know real basketball starting the playoffs. Like that's how we think now, and it's kind of way different. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, everybody is sitting here shooting threes. They're just chucking them up. It's the whole game now.
Off of whether people want to watch things nowadays. That's not
Isn't
what
that
I'm,
impact?
That's not what I'm.
That is impact.
Is talking about the change in the game. You didn't talk about how Shaq micro raised the ratings and did all this crazy stuff. Shaq didn't.
I'm pretty sure Shaq did because they thought he was gonna break a rim every time he dunked that bitch.
Make the ratings go crazy after Michael Jordan. When I think about impact, I don't think of, who's clicking into their phone to go watch the games. People don't like watching the NBA because of guys like SGA and the foul baiting and all that stuff going on. It has nothing to do with Steph Curry changing it to becoming a more offensive styled game. If anything, people enjoy watching Steph Curry put up 40 and 40 and 40 and put up 140 points in a game. They love watching that. They don't like watching the refs call fouls for stuff that isn't fouls. So when you talk
the moment that the score is 130 to 120 something, motherfuckers, the first thing everybody say is, what was the defense at? That's the first thing. They do not like, people don't like high scoring games like that all the time. The kids do.
when you talk about the ratings dropping, we're going to put this on Steph Curry and the way that game has changed.
I'm not putting it on Steph Curry, but that's his impact. That's his lasting.
That's not his lasting. You just said if you're not putting it on Stephen Curry, how is it his lasting impact? It's not his lasting impact. His lasting impact.
His impact that he made on the game is changing the game that a lot of fans actually view as worse.
No, that's not why fans view it as worse. I just made that point. They view it as worse because of how the referees call the game.
No, they don't like it because there's also no defense as well. And part of that was coining the three-point era. Steph Curry, and I hate to bring this up because, again, Steph is one of those guys that I love watching play. And it hurts because that's where the conversation stuff.
He's your buddy. I know it hurts.
I'm calling him one of the best players of all time. The problem with Steph, though, is you're going to bring up all these points. And I brought up Kevin Durant, not to say that Kevin Durant was more influential to the game or more influential to those teams than Steph Curry. But my point was, you could argue that when Steph Curry has won championships, it has been, I'll give him the 2022 right now as a marvelous run. That dynasty that they went on, it was one of the greatest rosters of all time. It wasn't just Steph Curry. I mean, I'd argue Klay Thompson at the time could have been a number one. Draymond Green was one of the best defensive players in the NBA. Steve Kerr is one of the greatest coaches of all time. They constructed a roster that was consistent and dependable. And then, of course, all of a sudden you have a 6'11 guy who could shoot the ball from 40 feet right next to you. That's going to help too. And so I guess my point is, it's like, we can go back and forth on this all day. I'd argue Shaquille O'Neal did more in the beginning of his career and was able to do a little bit more with less than Steph did toward the beginning of his career.
And Steph's doing more at the end of his career than Shaq did at the end of his. So you can take the tit for tat and go both ways. But
how's his playoff things looking right now?
Playoffs aren't looking that great. How did Shaq even playing look? He wasn't even playing on the Celtics when you got to that point. Bottom line is, the last thing I'll say is, you to bring up the Finals MVPs and stuff. Steph Curry got robbed of a Finals MVP in 2015 because they refused to give it to LeBron on the losing team and had to give it to the guy that was guarding the best player in that series. So it's not Steph's fault that he got robbed of LeBron's greatness and got robbed of a Finals MVP because of how great LeBron was, but they wouldn't give him the Finals MVP because of Iguodala. That's where I'll end on that.
All right. Agree to disagree, my friend. Great debate.
Okay, he stood in the paint. I like that. He stood in the paint. What's wrong with your knee?
Hey, great points.
Hope your knee get better.
My next claim is...
Oh, so that was it. Okay, I'm gonna give that to the kid genius. Like I said, it was opinion based, man. Like, anybody top 5 can be anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know. Like, my top 5 be changing. I be forgetting players sometimes. But my top 5 will be no particular order, because I don't feel like this debate. No particular order. Ron, Jordan, Kobe. Duncan. Allen Iverson. Fuck it. Let's go.
Lamar Jackson, that's right, will win a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. I can rock with this. Yeah. Come on, Lamar, let's get it. Now, let's see what these fools finna say.
Chase, I mean, I'm a Giants fan. I can't be talking too much
You can get out the chair. You're a Giants fan, bro. Get out of the chair.
about playoffs.
Oh, enjoy Harbaugh, please.
No, I thank you for that a ton.
This is what I want to say before he even talk. I wonder how many people gonna say Josh Allen and how many people gonna say Justin Herbert. That's what I want to know.
I will say, though, if you're looking at postseason Lamar Jackson,
you can stop right there. I can already see where it's going. Listen, y'all never gave Lamar a shot. I'm trying to hold it in, y'all.
you have 11 turnovers in his games. He has a 60% completion percentage.
That ain't good.
And his QBR in those games is 20 points lower than players like Josh Allen, who also...
And Josh Allen lost just as much as Lamar Jackson,
who haven't been able to succeed in the postseason. So are you saying that Lamar Jackson is going to be able to turn his career around and become a perfect postseason player? And
do y'all watch Ravens games? I really want to know if y'all watch Ravens games. There was one particular. There was two separate occasions, but this is something that I saw. Lamar Jackson rolled out, threw the ball to his tight end, boom, drops the pass. They said that Lamar should have thrown it better. Fast forward, Josh Allen tries to throw his ball to somebody else, and they said that the receiver should have caught that. The optics, bro. The point of views. Lamar Jackson can throw a bomb, get it intercepted. They be, oh, he threw an interception. Josh Allen can throw a bomb, get it intercepted. They'll say, oh, that's just an arm punt. It's the point of views, bro. They call it a arm punt. Then we have to sit up here and act like when Lamar Jackson is running his offense, that he has receivers that are competent enough to be compared to other quarterbacks that do have receivers that are good. Lamar Jackson has probably had one or two, maybe 1,000-yard passing receivers, and then they'll try to go back and like pick up a wash receiver and try to act like he's at his peak, and it's like, no, it's not. Give this man his weapons. Then they'll do something like this. Oh, we got Derrick Henry for you. They give him Derrick Henry, and then in the most clutch moments and clutch times, they don't even give Derrick Henry the ball. They completely stop running the ball. That ain't Lamar Jackson, bro. Like, I need y'all to really watch the Ravens, and not only watch the Ravens, but watch how the media talks about Lamar. And then think about how they talk about a Justin Herbert or a Josh Allen. I got a hot take for you. I don't even know if it's a hot take. That Josh Allen MVP, he did not deserve that. He didn't deserve that. Does he deserve? See, and the reason, and people's reasoning for giving him that is because he does deserve one, but he didn't deserve that one. See what I'm saying? He at least deserves one. So that's why because he deserves one. Yeah, he deserves one. He didn't deserve that one. Anyway,
enough to the point where he's going to be able to win that Super Bowl?
No, but I don't think he has to be, because I think there's a lot of misunderstandings around Lamar Jackson's playoff games. I will agree. That 2018 game as a rookie was atrocious. I remember watching it. I was crying.
2018 as a rookie, and they put the whole world on his back immediately. Well, it ain't about what he do in the regular season. Can he do it in the playoffs? Man, been in one goddamn playoff game. They had already started that narrative.
It was the rookie. No, it was really bad. The next year, I will argue the turnovers are bad. He also had 550 yards of offense, and his team.
They did not let him grow yet. They was already on his back. No other quarterback had that. They hit the other quarterbacks with he's young, he's gonna get it eventually. But with Lamar, we need him to get it right now. Like,
team had, I think, 8 drops, the most in a playoff game in the history of the NFL.
See?
So I'd argue
that ain't Lamar. He ain't dropped the ball. He throw the ball.
A lot of that is not on Lamar Jackson as much. We go to the Kansas City game, and you're right, that was not his greatest game in the AFC Championship game. However, if Zay Flowers doesn't fumble the football,
thank you.
Maybe having an entirely different discussion. In Buffalo, I'd argue the 2 turnovers were not in those huddles. A lot of people apparently said Rashad Bateman ran the wrong route on the interception. I doubt Lamar would throw it 15 yards the other way, so it was clearly a miscommunication there.
Thank you.
The fumble, the snap was high for Lamar, so it was harder to control trying to make a play.
Thank you.
And so I would argue, I bring up.
Thank you, young nigga.
Up all these things, not as Lamar Jackson excuses like everybody makes, but it's because the other quarterbacks have more. Lamar Jackson's defense.
Also, even though Lamar Jackson has Derrick Henry, Josh Allen has the number 1 running back in the league in James Cook, and nobody's talking about it. I saw something the other day on Twitter where they was like, oh, Josh Allen needs more on his offense. He got the number 1 running back. Are we just forgetting that he got the number 1 running back? What is we talking about?
Defense in 8 playoff games has forced 1 turnover. He's never started a drive in opposing territory. Josh Allen's team all the time. Joe Burrow's 7 playoff games he's played, his defense has forced 13 turnovers. Take a guy like...
I will say this. Ravens defense ain't Ravens defensing. They not. The Ravens defense they don't be Ravens defensing all the time. They be getting smacked. I be like, bro, Ray Lewis would never.
Jalen Hurts or someone that's won recently, a Patrick Mahomes, their defenses have forced 30 turnovers. Lamar's has forced 1. So it's a team sport, not an individual sport.
Facts.
And now that John Harbaugh is gone and will bring his playoff failures over to the New York Giants, Jesse Minter is going to start to change the culture and the mentality over in Baltimore.
Wait, but you're talking about a first-time head coach with a team who they fired one of the best coaches in the NFL because he couldn't control a locker room.
Who the best coach in the NFL?
NFL?
You're already moving on this much from him? Are you kidding me?
This has been the case he should have been gone 3 years ago.
John Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in the NFL.
I've been saying this for years.
So then why is a first-time head coach going to be able to come in and take control of a locker room that the Ravens themselves admitted I'm going to say it again, one of the best coaches in the NFL lost control of?
Well, why is he one of the best coaches in the NFL? Why are we throwing that on him? I mean, he won a Super Bowl 13, 14 years ago.
Facts.
With Ray Lewis and Ed Reed.
Facts.
And Joe Flacco went on a miracle run.
Facts.
Outside of that, his playoff resume when Ray Lewis isn't there is very, very disappointing. I think he has 3 or 4 playoff wins in the past decade. Is that really one of the best coaches in the NFL to you?
Well, you just said that the team that he's been coaching with the Ravens over the past couple of years with Lamar Jackson you just said there's no talent outside of Lamar Jackson. There's miscommunications everywhere.
No. Don't misconstrue what he said.
Everywhere. You're saying he doesn't have enough talent around him.
That's actually not what I said. I said they've been making mistakes. The talent is there. However, I have a question for you, though. When one year it is Lamar, when one year it's a play tipping off of Mark Andrews' hands in 2019 against the Titans, which unraveled the entire game. When one year it's Zay Flowers fumbling the ball, when the next year it's Mark Andrews fumbling the ball and then dropping the ball, when it's a different culprit, even in the regular season, take all these blown leads they have. One game it's Derrick Henry, one game it's someone else. Do you really think there are that many poor players who just all of a sudden fail in the playoffs? Or was there a leadership issue in that locker room? Why would it be a different culprit? Why would we go from Seth Roberts and Willie Snead dropping passes to Rashad Bateman and Nelson Aguilar dropping passes? Those are different players in different situations. It's not about the talent around him. It's about how you execute on that talent. And yes, I think Jesse Minter, who in his career consistently, at least from what we've seen on the defensive end, squeezes all of the juice out of his players. I think we're going to see more success from Jesse Minter in making sure his teams are ready come postseason time than we've seen from John Harbaugh. Because guess what? I see a 4-8, 4-9 playoff record the past decade. That's one of your best coaches in the NFL. Give me a break. Without John Harbaugh, the Ravens are going to have a field day.
Get him, young nigga.
Chase, let's talk for a second.
Let's talk.
I am a fan of Lamar Jackson, and I love that you're a Ravens fan and you're a Lamar guy because you're going to have the answers for me. When was the last time a Super Bowl winning quarterback was injured in the regular season?
I don't remember.
Patrick Mahomes?
The unfortunate...
Mahomes, did he win? Yeah, Mahomes won that year.
The unfortunate fact here is that whether it's Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady in his day, these Super Bowl winning quarterbacks are healthy throughout the year. And Lamar Jackson, unfortunately, has yet to complete a season where there wasn't at least a question mark, if not multiple missed games in every regular season.
So he played 17 games in 2024. He played 16 because he sat out because he had a first-round bye because they had the most dominant team in the regular season in 2023. So he sat out the final game. He did the same thing in 2019. He played all 16 games in 2020. So I'm a little bit confused with
he on your ass, boy.
What exactly you mean by can't stay healthy through a full season because he's done that many times.
Got your ass, y'all. He's like, I'm not saying that.
I'm saying he didn't play the games. I'm saying there has been a question mark around his health multiple times, especially last season.
Okay.
Are we not going to talk about last season?
Sure, yes, last season he did have injury issues. It's a new season. Joe Burrow goes 1 year playing 9 games, then he plays 17, then he goes back to 8. You don't know. You got to hope you have injury luck. Of course, Tom Brady has had injuries throughout his career. Patrick Mahomes has had multiple nagging injuries throughout his career. We don't have those same questions for them. Like always,
of course we have those same questions for Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was injured last year and they didn't succeed. You want to talk about Tom Brady?
Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes' injuries are the reason why they failed. I mean, it's ridiculous to me.
It's not
last year specifically. It's not Mahomes' fault.
It's not a point that's exclusive to Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs had a collapse effectively last season. But we're talking about quarterbacks who win the Super Bowl are.
Listen, I see that you just don't want to concede, but you lost. Because as soon as you said, well, he can't stay healthy, and then he brought up all the years that he played every single game, you lost. We ain't gonna talk about last season. It's one season, bro. He brought up 19, 20, 22, 23. He brought up multiple seasons where he played the entire season. What do we talk about, bro? I think it's football. Niggas get hurt. Tom Brady got hurt. Everybody, literally everybody gets hurt. Name one person that has been not hurt over some type of nagging injury over the course of their football career. Name somebody, please. A starter with no injuries. Could you name them, please? Never been injured. Who is the NFL iron? You know what? What NFL starter never got hurt? No NFL starter has ever gone an entire career without getting hurt. They have people that go on long, like, consecutive games. Brett Favre started 297 games. Eli 210 games. Phillip Rivers 244. And he played in the AFC Championship with a torn ACL. Bruce Matthews played 19 seasons with virtually zero missed time due to injury. Okay, you got Bruce Matthews. I don't know who that is. But it was, I don't know if he was a starter though. Let's see who Bruce Matthews is. He big enough. He probably was a starter. He's an offensive lineman though. And he in the Hall of Fame though. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. See, so he did miss games, but he missed games due to contract disputes. So 0 games missed due to injury though. Hey, okay, you got one. You got one.
Are healthy. That's a fact. That is an inarguable fact.
So why don't you believe Lamar Jackson can be healthy when I've listed to you how many 4 seasons now that he's played the full year?
Because unfortunately, because of his play style. He's been in the league for 8 years, and in those 8 years, he has run a ton. He has been injured plenty.
Every quarterback play like Lamar Jackson or try to. And what I mean by that, not Lamar, but every quarterback run. We can go down the list of NFL starting QBs 2026-27. Let's check this list out. Josh Allen running. Pat running. Matt pocket passer. Joe, he can run a little bit. He better not because he be getting hurt. Lamar running. Dak running. Justin running. Drake running. Jared Goff pocket. Caleb running. See what I'm talking about, bro? Then honorable mention Sam Darnold. I don't even know what Sam Darnold do. He probably, I'm just label him pocket. Jaden Daniels running. Jordan Love, I don't watch enough. Brock Purdy, he can run. Baker Mayfield running. Trevor running. Jalen running. Everybody do the same, bro. This dude, bro, come on, bro.
He has been nagging a lot, and I know. Look, I don't want to feel this way.
Everybody play like that.
Doesn't make sense to me.
I see the play. How does it not make sense to you?
Because Lamar
the play
Jackson,
style
he's
is
not even
aggressive. It's physical, and
he's not even running as much anymore, though. Look, last year the rush.
Why do you think he's not running as much anymore? It's his greatest asset as a runner at the position.
He's led the league in passing touchdowns. He's the all-time leader in pass ratings. He's pretty good throwing the football.
He is pretty good throwing the football. I'm not saying he's bad at throwing the football, but the greatest asset as a skilled quarterback is the ability to extend plays, to run downfield. It's the reason Michael Vick became a legend in a time before his time. It's the reason why Jalen Hurts tush push actually works, is because he's a body who can handle running the ball regularly. If Lamar Jackson, we all know Lamar Jackson is the runner that he is and a great passer. But if he can't use his greatest skill set that makes him different from every other quarterback, that defenses cannot game plan for the way that you'd like to, because of his nagging injuries, he is a limited quarterback in that way.
So this past season, actually, the last game we saw from him, which was coming off of a serious back injury, and Lamar said, quote unquote, that he was actually the healthiest he's been all year. We saw him evade multiple defenders.
It's a good thing you put finger quotes, so I didn't have to.
So either way, you're talking about being healthy. So even this injured version of Lamar Jackson, we'll go to your argument. Let's say he was hurt all year. This injured version of Lamar Jackson, not the healthy one, broke off of 2 defenders to throw a 50-yard touchdown. The same guy who was able to evade defenders and find Zay Flowers for a 75-yard touchdown. The same guy that on a 4th and 7 with the game on the line. This is just in one game, by the way, after multiple injuries that were nagging him throughout the season. And then one final play where he just needed to throw up another prayer, another fantastic throw to Isaiah Likely while pressure was coming at him and he had to move a little bit. So I would argue Lamar Jackson is still as capable of extending plays. Can you run the read option as much as 2018 and 2019? No, but those teams didn't win playoff games either. The Ravens have continuously adapted and to revolve around what Lamar Jackson's skill set is at that current time. He could still extend plays And I think the fact that you're going to say that these injuries are going to continuously hurt him, he was injured in 21 and 22, then came back and was back-to-back first-team All-Pro at quarterback. Like, all this guy has shown in his life is resiliency. Why in the world do you think these injuries would all of a sudden be a hindrance to him?
Derail him.
The reason why Lamar Jackson playoffs.
He got on a Chiefs jersey. Let's just. You already know what he finna do. He got a Chiefs jersey on.
Success isn't as good as his regular season success is because when he gets to the playoffs, he stopped being who he is. And the AFC
That's a coach problem.
championship game where you blame Zay Flowers for the fumble, that was the reason why they lost that game.
Yes, it is.
The defense, which was number one that season, right?
Oh, so you blame it on defense then?
Ravens defense number one that season,
So it ain't Lamar.
held the Chiefs to under 20 points. Lamar Jackson had lanes where he could have ran the ball. What did he do? He decided to throw the ball in double coverage, which was an interception after Zay Flowers fumble. Lamar Jackson have to be Lamar Jackson. If he just be who he is, I think he could win a Super Bowl because I'm not
Oh, so you on his side? Then get up out the
a
chair.
Lamar Jackson hater. Where do you go from there?
I 100% agree with that point of there clearly is a shift in the regular season, from the regular season into the postseason. And I guess it depends on which are you going to blame, because there were also, Todd Monken, his offensive coordinator in that 2023-24 AFC Championship game, ran the ball to his running backs 6 times after they were the number 1 rushing offense in the NFL. So again, I would argue when we talk about these Lamar Jackson is awful in the playoffs, can't win a Super Bowl, all this nonsense that is spewed around the National Football League, I would argue there were much bigger issues in Baltimore than just Lamar Jackson. And I think those issues, getting in a newer regime, shifting things around the roster a little bit, I'd argue that is what you are going to need to be able to go on and win a Super Bowl. I think Andy Reid has been a much better coach in the playoffs than John Harbaugh. I think Sean McDermott has done a better job in recent history.
Excuses.
How's that a lot?
Lamar Jackson's a
excuses?
quarterback. Leadership is important.
So, okay.
Andy Reid is not perfect. Patrick Mahomes is a leader.
I'm not comparing it to Patrick
Jalen
Mahomes.
Hurts is a
he's
leader.
incredible.
No, I'm going down the line. Quarterbacks that win championships are leaders. Tom Brady don't have the best skill set. He was a leader. When is Lamar Jackson going to be a leader? Take the locker room over and lead the team to a Super Bowl. That's his job. He has the most talent in the world.
So
one of the most
You don't think he doing that?
talented quarterbacks ever. But what happens in big moments, he crushes. That's what happens.
So
you keep blaming Todd Monken. You keep blaming the coach. You blame the coach. What's his name? Harbaugh. You blame the roster. You blame the roster, but you never blame Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson threw the ball in double coverage. Lamar Jackson's the one that fumbled the ball and caught it. Remember that game? Remember against the Chiefs?
Yep.
He fumbled the ball and caught it
trust
himself. Lamar Jackson did that. Lamar Jackson had a wide open lane in that Chiefs game, the AFC Championship game in Baltimore, and he didn't run the ball. He was the one throwing the ball. This is the truth.
All right, so
when are you going to put it on Lamar Jackson?
So I would argue that in 2018, 2019, and 2020, correct, Lamar Jackson was very, very poor in the postseason. We didn't see it in 21 and 22 because that roster had a ton of injury, and Lamar was injured in the back end of those seasons, so he was not healthy and available for what would have been postseason football if he was there.
Get him right.
Ravens made it in 22. Lamar wasn't healthy. They didn't make it in 21. He had that team 8-3 as the most decimated team in the league. So from 23 and onward, which I think, again, we're not holding Josh Allen to the mistakes that he made back in 2019 in his playoff debuts.
It's about the playoff game where Mark Andrews dropped the ball. It's about Josh Allen. All right, finish your point.
I'm going to finish my point
Let him talk
for a second. So you're saying that I'm making excuses for everybody else but Lamar Jackson. Sure, Lamar Jackson has not been great in the playoffs. However, people have overstated that claim. Can I tell you why? Because people don't look at the full context. If you had Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, these guys who have made it further in the playoffs, if you had their defenses that were forcing turnovers.
They was the number 1 defense in the league in the regular season that year they went to AFC Championship game.
And they only, y'all ain't listening to the boy.
It was 3-0. It was 3-0.
Lamar Jackson's the one that's turning the ball over.
Okay, but part of it's Zay Flowers, part of it's Mark Andrews.
All right, wait. Let's go to the game against Buffalo, right?
Yeah,
where Mark Andrews dropped the ball in the end zone. Yes, that was Mark Andrews' point, right?
But
two mistakes. The reason why the Ravens were down because Lamar Jackson had a terrible first half that game,
and he still could have won right then and there if he caught the ball. Stuff gets erased from that game if he catches the ball. I don't care what you did in the beginning of the. How did you end it? They say it's not how you start, it's how you finish, bro. He did that. That's why they lost because of what happened in the first half. Because from then on, what happened? It led up to that play in which if he catches the ball, they win the game. What are we doing?
He dug them in the hole, and yes, he did get them out of it. But
Okay,
now you
then.
can't blame Mark Andrews. You
Yes, you
can't blame
can.
Mark Andrews for that play.
And that's the problem right there. That's the problem. Why you can't blame Mark Andrews? He dropped the ball.
For that play, you can. But Lamar Jackson dug
That play you can. And that was the game winning.
them in the hole.
Okay, so
He has to get the blame. He's the quarterback. I'm a Chiefs fan. Patrick Mahomes, he get the blame when we lose.
No, he does not. Patrick Mahomes don't get nothing. Patrick Mahomes don't get nothing because that's how good he is. It don't matter.
He gets the blame. He gets the credit when we win.
I don't.
That's how we go with quarterbacks.
I don't agree with that. Quarterbacks should not get the credit or the blame, no matter the
You're the
result.
leader
It's a
of the
sport.
team. Just like you said, the number one guy. When the Lakers lose, Shaq should have got the blame because he was
When
number
did I
one
ever
guy,
say
right?
that? When did I
You
ever
say
say
he was
that?
number one guy over Kobe.
But that doesn't. Okay, so if Kobe Bryant was 2 for 14 in a game, that's not Shaquille O'Neal's fault. I'm not saying that happened.
Facts.
I'm saying, hold on, you stay for a minute. You can stay for a minute. Come here.
Nah, he getting out of there. He got him.
Come on.
We got him.
Scream didn't let me talk and then let me finish my points. Come on now, man. That's ridiculous. My next claim is Victor Wembanyama is the best player in the NBA right now.
Okay, well, this is what we're gonna end of that, and we're gonna get to that one in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Boy, this is heating up. Now I see Buddy in New York finna sit down, so I hope he don't say Jalen Brunson because Victor Wembanyama is better than Jalen Brunson, even though he beat him. But y'all get what I'm trying to say. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Peace.